Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Cafe Bagheri. As I've said before, the foods that I feature on this channel are things that I love to eat. Grilled chicken is one of my top favorite foods, and today I'm going to present a fusion of two of my all-time favorites. Our own Persian Iranian grilled chicken, Joojeh Kabob, and chicken teriyaki. So we're gonna have Saffron Teriyaki Joojeh Kabob today, which is absolutely delicious. I know you're gonna love this, so stick around and let's make this together. Like regular Joojeh Kabob, you have a choice to use chicken breast or chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are always tastier and have more moisture, so I recommend using thighs for this recipe, but it's your choice. Both of them work. This is a recipe for 4 people, and so 1 person, 1 chicken thigh. What we're gonna do is try to trim some of the fat that's on the thighs, and then we're going to cut them into 4 pieces, 4 to 5 pieces per chicken thigh. See, like this gooey, fatty stuff, you wanna take off as much of it as possible. There. Okay. Here. So this would be for 1 person. I would go like, I see some of this fat inside of the meat is going to contribute to the flavor and juiciness. So we're not gonna take them off. There you go. Generally, the butterflied thigh is this way. You just cut it in 4 and you get them like that. So there you go. 1. This one is a bigger one than usual. So maybe we can get 2 and then 3. And then we can, yeah, this one was much bigger than the usual thigh. So I'm going to get 6 out of this. There it is. Okay, we're gonna put this aside. And I have to change gloves, of course. Next, we're going to make the pre-marinade for the chicken that we just cut up. The pre-marinade involves sliced onions that I've already sliced to save some time, and we're gonna add some saffron to it. What you're going to do is you're gonna force these onions to give up some of their juice and flavor. Then we're gonna add our chicken. I'm gonna put about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You know, when salt comes in contact with food, with vegetables and meats, it extracts moisture, water from the food. And that's exactly why we sprinkled some salt onto this onion. This is, by the way, a large white onion. You can use yellow onion. And so the salt and the squeezing is forcing the juice from the onion. We've got this moisture out of the onion. So about 1 minute is enough to start this process, okay? So we're going to use this larger bowl, put the squeezed onion in there. Again, that little bit of salt was just to kickstart this process of getting the juice out of the onion. It's not for flavor, and we're gonna add more salt later. What we're gonna do is we're going to add the chicken that we just cut up into this onion, and we're going to also use a couple of tablespoons of our saffron solution. As always, the recipe for saffron solution is in the comments below in our recipe. That's about 1, and that's about 2. So what we're gonna do is we're going to mix all of that. So onion and saffron being the 2 dominant flavors in Persian Joojeh Kabob recipe, we start with those two as pre-marinade to kind of establish that flavor in the meat. So this is our pre-marinade. We're gonna let this kind of rest for about 30 minutes while we make our main marinade for Joojeh Kabob. While the chicken is pre-marinating in onion and saffron, we're going to make our main Joojeh Kabob marinade. The base is yogurt. You can look that up in the recipe. You can use fat-free or whole yogurt. You can use mayonnaise, believe it or not. You can use sour cream. So any of those products from that family will work. And actually, my brother swears by mayonnaise because it has a tanginess that adds a layer of flavor to it. So I have fresh squeezed lime juice. Of late, I prefer to use sour grape instead of lime, or a mixture of sour grape and lime. But today I did not have sour grape, so I'm using lime juice. This is vegetable oil. I use grapeseed as always. Don't use olive oil because we don't want that pronounced olive taste in this marinade, just a neutral oil. And then, of course, here we have a bit of salt that we use. Check the recipe below. We have fresh ground black pepper. I don't use a pepper mill when I'm doing videos, but this is recently ground up. For the table, we use a pepper mill, but I want the convenience of having it in this container. I use a touch of heat. This is cayenne pepper. You can use Aleppo pepper. You can use chipotle, whatever heat you like, or you can just snip it. You can just skip the spiciness, but I like a little kick to the marinade. And you will see in my teriyaki, I use a little heat as well. So here, the last ingredient that goes in this traditional Joojeh Kabob marinade is some of the saffron solution again. Just about a tablespoon is enough because we have it with the chicken itself as well. So the name saffron is in the title of this dish. So we add a touch of saffron at every layer, right? You will see later that my teriyaki sauce has saffron in it, which is a kick above the store-bought teriyaki sauce. Okay, it's been slightly over 30 minutes with the chicken pre-marinating with onion and saffron. You saw me make this yogurt saffron-based marinade earlier. So now we're gonna mix that in and add it over the chicken and onion. So this is the main marinade for Joojeh Kabob you've seen me make. There you go. So this also has to go in and just rest for at least an hour. Okay, while the chicken is resting in the fridge with the marinade and onion and saffron, we have a chance to make our teriyaki sauce. I make my own teriyaki sauce with fresh ginger and garlic, brown sugar, sake, mirin, and it's pretty tasty. I'll give you the recipe below. If you don't have time or wherewithal to make the teriyaki sauce, you can use store-bought teriyaki sauce, any brand, store brand, and use it. You will add, the recipe says to add some saffron, which is a key ingredient in this fusion, right? So we use the amount of teriyaki sauce that we make or that we buy, we use it in two ways. Half of it we're gonna use to brush over the chicken when it's being grilled. At the end, the final minute, the other half of teriyaki sauce, we're gonna reduce a little bit, but reduce it to half of this volume. And then when you're plating your joojeh, you brush it on and pour some on your plate that'll be your final presentation. So teriyaki sauce, half for grilling and the other half for serving. The chicken has marinated over an hour now. It's time to put them on skewers. What we need to do first is separate the pieces of chicken from the marinade and from onions specifically. So you just basically make sure you get all of the onion off of it. And we're gonna put the chicken in this bowl. All right, there you go. All the meat is out of the onion. All right, we're going to skewer now. This is a little messy. See these loose flaps? You try to push them back, pull them in the middle, and then go like this. And the goal is to have a smooth, round side at the top. Look at that. See, this is the bottom. See how that looks? That's the goal for all of them. So, there. Go like this. So again, the smooth, round side is going to be on the same side. See that? One more. Voila. I know that on my grill, I have to be about 4 inches away from the back of the grill, and this is the heat zone for my grill. I've said it on multiple kebab videos. You need to know your grill and know where to put the meat on your skewer to be in the sweet spot of the heat. For me, it's over here. They need to be a little towards me. Otherwise, the ones outside of heat zone will not cook. And you're gonna have raw chicken on one end and cooked chicken on the other. I believe we get 4 or 5 on each skewer. We can make adjustments. There you go. So we're gonna go here. All right, here. So you do one final adjustment with regard to the meat being where it needs to be on your skewer. We know that we need the thinner half of our teriyaki sauce to apply towards the end. I also have my butter, saffron, and lime juice that I made for traditional Joojeh, right? So we're gonna apply this about halfway through, apply the teriyaki sauce at the end, and then bring it back and plate it for you. Okay, we're outside. Beautiful January weather in Dallas, Texas. I read about 450 on the dome thermometer. We're ready to put our kebab down. We're ready here. Here you go. Again, I know that this is my sweet spot with the best temperature. Back there, I'm not gonna get them cooked. I have my regular Joojeh Kabob basting sauce here. And right at the end, we're gonna put the teriyaki sauce on it. We're gonna let this cook for a minute or two, and then I'll turn it, and then keep going until I get a nice char around the edges. And you have to judge on your grill when it's cooked. Every grill is different. So we're gonna go for a couple of minutes and turn it. One thing I wanna tell you is, of course, everything that I cook and videotape are my favorites, but my wife will chuckle and roll an eye when I say this. There are a select number of dishes that I identify as last meal, meaning if I was gonna die tomorrow and they ask me, what do you want to eat for dinner tonight, that would be one of those items. She laughs because there are so many of them for me. I have so many favorites. But chicken and rice in different forms is most likely in the final top list of my dishes, my final meal, last meal dishes. Chicken teriyaki and Iranian Persian Joojeh Kabob are two of my favorite chicken dishes that I love with the rice, and it could be my last meal. So this kebab today, Saffron Teriyaki Joojeh Kabob, is a fusion of those two favorites, and I really want you to try this, and you're gonna love it. It's awesome. All right, so we're gonna turn it now. See the color change right there. We're on the right track. All right, so we've kind of produced all sides to the fire. At this point, you could start basting with your butter, saffron, acid mixture, ever so gently. You don't have to put so much that it starts dripping into the fire and the butter will cause flare-ups, as you can see. So I'm being very judicious in how much I put there. But invariably, some of it is going to go down and create a flare-up. But you get a little bit of soot on your kebab when it flares up like that, but that's okay. It's just part of the flavor. That's called cooking with fire. We have about a minute or two before we're done. So far, we've been cooking Joojeh Kabob. Now we're gonna, right at the end, we're gonna put a touch of teriyaki on it to give it that tangy, salty, sweet taste. Not much, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes time that we have. You apply it on both sides real quick. Good news is this doesn't have any fat in it, so you're not gonna get flare-ups. But the downside is because it has sugar in it, it's gonna start burning. So you have to work fast. This is just about all the teriyaki we need to put on that. It's ready now. We're gonna get them off the fire, put them in the clean pan, and we're gonna take it in the kitchen and plate it over there. All right, let me show you something. We were grilling the chicken outside, and I told you the half of teriyaki sauce that needs to be reduced. I had reduced it in this pan, and we left it here. The pan was hot, the grates were hot. As you can see, it's a little too thick for what I want to do, which is pour it in the plate and brush it over the kebab, the joojeh. I have about a tablespoon and a half of water that I'm gonna pour in here and use my whisk to barely thin this out. Just wanted you to see, because reducing the sauce can be tricky with the timing, but you can always fix it. Look at that. See how it became a little more runny. All right, so I want to try to manage not running out of sauce, because we're doing 2 plates here. So each plate, since this was for 4 people, each plate is going to have 2 skewers for 2 people, right? So we're serving 4 people. Look, we're going to do this. All right, so let's get a couple of these. Getting them off the skewer is same business as any kind of kebab coming off the skewer. There you go. You just, this one, it's a little extra cooked. I'm gonna put that aside. I'll enjoy that separately. There you go. We push them off. We release the first one. Remember the round, shiny side of the the kebab that I was talking about, that's going to be facing up. That's your business end, if you will, the presentation end. And we'll get some of the stuff you don't want to show on the plate. Now what we're going to do is this is really the teriyaki look you would see on your salmon or whatever at a Japanese restaurant. So now, sesame touch on the chicken. Check this out, right here. Saffron Teriyaki Joojeh Kabob. A fusion of Persian Iranian grilled chicken, butter saffron chicken, and Japanese teriyaki sauce, except teriyaki sauce has saffron in it. I hope you like this video. I know you're gonna try to make this. This is an unusual and delicious item. Make this, and when you do that, tag me on my Instagram at Katteh Bagheri on your pictures or stories. I would love to see that, and I'll give you a shout out to my community. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, this is a perfect opportunity, and hit that little bell button so we can keep in touch. Happy 2024 again. A whole lot of fun stuff coming. Stay healthy, successful, prosperous, and all the good stuff. And I want you to come back here very soon and see me at Katteh Bagheri. I can't wait to tear into this. Oh, by the way, you serve this with your usual sides for the kebab, rice, salad, any sides that you would serve with chicken teriyaki or with Persian Joojeh Kabob, you can serve here. Steamed vegetables are perfectly fine. Enjoy, stay healthy, and come back and see me very soon right here at Katteh Bagheri. Oh, this is my favorite part. Let's see what we can do. This is unbelievable. You got your standard delicious Persian Joojeh Kabob. It's wrapped in a umami filled soy sauce, brown sugar, that sweetness, and then the aroma of saffron is amplified because I put saffron in the teriyaki sauce as well as the original Joojeh that we started with. And this is just on a different level. You need to make this. Let me know how it tastes. I need to eat the rest of this.